Picture this. You wake up on a Tuesday and you have nowhere to be. Not because you're calling in sick, because you chose it. So you book a flight to see your grandkids, or you finally take that trip that you've been talking about for 10 years. Or maybe you just sit with your coffee and decide what the day looks like. But at the end of the day, there's no meetings, there's no deadlines, and there's no alarm for you. That is what retirement is supposed to feel like. But here's the honest truth. Not every retirement feels that way. And the difference comes down to one thing, not whether you saved enough, but how much you saved and what kind of life it actually buys you. I'm Chelsea Ransom-Cooper, a certified financial planner and the Chief Financial Planning Officer here at Zenith Wealth Partners. I focus on helping women and people of color make smart and impactful financial decisions on their journey to a work optional lifestyle. In this video, I'm going to show you what 1 million and 2 million actually look like in retirement, the real spending numbers behind each one, and how to figure out which path you're on right now so you can start making decisions that move you toward the retirement you actually want. Now, before I get into the numbers, I want to be clear about something. There is no universal magic number for retirement, okay? The right target for you depends on what your life actually costs, how long you plan to live, and what income you will already have coming in when you're ready to retire. What I am about to show you is not a benchmark to stress over. It is a framework for understanding what these two very common targets actually mean in real life, so you can make your plan personal instead of just picking a number off of a headline. Let's start with 1 million, because for a long time, this was the number everyone pointed to. Hit 1 million and you're set. Well, here's what actually looks like. Using the 4% withdrawal rate, which is the most widely used retirement spending guideline, 1 million gives you about $40,000 a year to spend. Once you factor in taxes and healthcare, your real spending number might be closer to 20,000 or even 25,000. For some people that works, especially if they have Social Security or if they have pensions, that could be sufficient. But for most people who have spent 30 years building a career and a life they love, $20,000 a year does not cover the retirement they imagine. Healthcare surprises can wipe out months of income, and every market dip starts to feel personal because there's not enough cushion in your portfolio. 1 million became the magic number because it is simple and it's easy to say, but it was never designed around your life. It does not know when you want to retire, where you want to live, what healthcare costs are going to be, or how you want to help your kids or your grandkids if you want to leave something behind. But it is a good starting point for our conversation. I just want to be clear that it's not a plan. Now let's take a look at $2 million, and if we use that same 4%, that is $80,000 a year. After taxes and healthcare, you might be working with $50,000 to $60,000 in actual spending each year. That is enough to travel, enough to handle a medical bill without panic, even enough to say yes to things and still feel steady. And that gap matters most to the people who are 10 years out from retirement, because 10 years is still enough time to close that gap. So the real question is not which numbers sound better. The real question is, what does your retirement actually cost? And do you know your number? Because until you run the math on your own life, you're just guessing. And guessing is how people end up retiring into a lifestyle that does not match the one they worked so hard for. So here's how you can actually figure it out. When I work with clients who are 10 years out from retirement, I do not start by asking how much they have saved. I start by asking what they want their life to look like. Instead of chasing a number someone else decided was enough, we start to build what retirement actually looks like for them and what they want, and then we work backwards to figure out what it costs. So here are the 5 steps. Number 1, map your lifestyle. What does your retirement actually cost? So that's your housing, food, healthcare, any travel, and the things that make your life just feel like it's yours. This is your lifestyle number. Next, identify your guaranteed income. So that's Social Security, a pension if you have one, if you have an investment property and you're getting some rental income. These are your financial anchors, money you can count on every month no matter what the market does. Third, we want to find the gap. So subtract your guaranteed income from your lifestyle number. What's left is what your portfolio needs to cover. 4, multiply that number by 25. That gives you your target portfolio size based on the 4% withdrawal rule. 5, stress test it. What happens if the market drops 20% at the beginning of your retirement? Or what if you live longer than expected? Maybe even to 100? What if you need long-term care and the costs are more than you planned? A good plan holds up under pressure. Here's a quick, simple example. Say your retirement lifestyle costs $85,000 a year. Social Security will cover $35,000. That leaves a $50,000 gap your portfolio needs to fill. So let's multiply that 50,000 by 25, and your target is about 1.25 million. But let's add in some buffer for inflation, healthcare, and other things that may come up. So that range is 1.25 to 1.5 million. For someone else with a more expensive lifestyle or less guaranteed income, the number might be higher. And for someone who wants to plan to downsize and live simply, it might be even less. But that is the point. Your number is yours. It's unique to you, but you cannot know it until you do the math and monitor your plan as your life changes. Most people never build the retirement they imagine, not because they did not save enough, but because they never actually defined what enough looked like for them. This framework replaces that guesswork with a plan that is built around your actual life. I've sat across from clients who came in convinced they were nowhere close to retirement, but then we ran the numbers and they were 3 years away, not 15, and that was the clarity they needed. I've also sat across from clients who thought they were fine, only to realize their plan had a real gap that they needed to close. But it's better to know that now than to find that out at 67. So here's what I want you to walk away with. Whether it's 1 million, 2 million, 500,000, whatever the number you read about in an article, it is not a standalone benchmark. The only way to know which one you are on track for is to stop guessing and start planning around your actual life. If you're 10 years out and you want to know exactly where you stand, that is what we do every day at Zenith Wealth Partners. Click the link in the description to book a free intro call with our team member, because personal finance is personal. We will look at your specific situation, run your numbers, and give you a clear picture of what is actually possible for you. I promise, no generic advice, no judgment, just clarity. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Cheers.